Crossing over now to news from the courts, a number of employees of Nassau Flight Services arraigned in the magistrate's court today on drug charges. Fern Carey has more details on the arraignment.
26-year-old Rudolph Mott, 40-year-old Keto Ferguson, 38-year-old Fillmore Cartwright, 26-year-old Fashad Arnett, and 26-year-old Quinton Williams were arraigned before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt. The Nassau Flight Services employees pleaded not guilty to 3 drug charges in connection with a drug bust over the weekend. Bail was denied and the defendants remanded to prison. They returned to court on October 21st for a status hearing. 24-year-old mother of 1, Ashley Roll, and 23-year-old mother of a 1-year-old child, Keithra Stubbs, were also arraigned before Magistrate Janine Weech Gomez. They both pleaded guilty to drug charges. Prosecutors say Roll was in the pre-clearance section at the Lynden Pinling International Airport preparing to board a flight to Fort Lauderdale. She was searched by U.S. Border Patrol agents who discovered 2 clear plastic bags with cocaine in a chest area under her clothing. The drugs weighed 10 and 7/8 ounces. Roll told police that a man she knows only as Fred bought her a ticket to Fort Lauderdale, and upon arrival in Fort Lauderdale, she was supposed to take a taxi to a certain hotel and contact another person who would collect the drugs from her. 22-year-old Tanique Pete and 20-year-old Brittany Davis Evans had a similar story after pleading guilty to similar offenses. Prosecutors say Pete was in the pre-clearance section at the Lynden Pinling International Airport preparing to board a Delta flight to Atlanta. However, she was searched by U.S. Border Patrol agents and a plastic wrap with 2.5 pounds of cocaine was discovered in a plastic wrap in a headpiece. The drugs have an estimated street value of $21,000. Pete told police the cocaine was sewn into her hair by a woman she didn't know. She also revealed she was introduced to a man she knows only as Jay, who promised to pay her some money. Brittany Evans told police that she was the go-between person, giving instructions and directions to Pete. She told police she and Pete were supposed to be paid $16,000. Both of the lawyers expressed concern about young women with children being used as drug mules. They asked the court not to impose a prison sentence, but to levy a fine instead. In the end, Evans and Pete were both fined and given 1 year in prison. Roll and Stubbs were also fined and given 6 months in prison. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.